Hello and welcome to another episode of Race Talk F1, where we talk all things race weekend. It's your boy Knox.
And your boy Javier.
And obviously, this is round 7, Imola, aka the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix.
Well done with that, because you're a better man than me, bro.
It sounds like a pizza, so I kind of.
And you like them a lot still.
You know what I'm saying? The sloppy Giuseppe, the Emilia-Romagna, but from here on, it's going to be Imola.
Yeah, agree. I'm not mentally prepared to say that today.
Okay, this track's been around for a minute though, so people have had a long time to get used to saying it. It's still Imola to me.
It's still Imola, bro. Like, I think us English people, we have a hard way of saying certain stuff in it and certain words.
No, we're selfish.
Imola.
We think we're more
And
important. We will go Italy and be like, yeah, and say a whole thing in English. Yeah, can I get beans on toast with a this and a that?
Yeah.
And then we'll be like, is it no, what is it? Is it not gracias?
Grazie.
Grazie. And be like, yeah, cheers, grazie.
Yeah.
And think we're so cold, you know what I'm saying?
Ask why the pizza don't taste like Domino's and all that.
Hey, offensive. I think we should just address why we're wearing football attire on a Formula One podcast. But obviously, we're from South London. This is a South London podcast, and we go around the world talking about all of the races, each of the 24 races in the 2025 season. But we do it from here in South London, and representing South, the Palace.
The Eagles
Made history by winning the first major trophy ever in the club's history.
Yeah, massive achievement, man.
Since 1861 to now, never won something like this.
London's red and blue, baby.
It's important. So here we are in South representing, because we've been celebrating all weekend, and we ain't about to stop today just because it was race weekend. You know what I mean? But anyway, we move. Race weekend. Practice, qualifying, the race. Where did you watch qualifying?
So I watched that from, Sunday morning. Because obviously I was at the FA Cup final on Saturday. So missed qualifying live, so had to watch that Sunday morning once I woke up before the race, and then just watch that from home on the sofa with water.
Okay. So I caught up on the qualifying in a hotel central London, because I was going straight to F1 Drive.
Nice.
Great place to go and watch the race. F1 Drive, the vibes. Go-karting, you can kart before, properly get into like the mood, the zone.
Yeah.
I jumped on a simulator, and it just reminded me, like, this ain't easy. You know, like when you see them running through the gravel.
Yeah.
It's easy to cuss, but when you got to like drive on these simulators. So F1 Drive London is where I was, but like I said, I stayed like local, so I was in the hotel catching up on qualifying.
Wicked.
And then the race with everybody in a great environment. Watching it on the huge screen with everybody. So that was my vibe. Qualifying, what did you think?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Couple of major events.
Yeah.
So straight away, Q1, Yuki Tsunoda.
Oh, Yuki Tsunoda. Oh,
Love him.
He's struggling, man.
Boy. It was he said after he was just pushing too hard too early.
Do you think he's really trying to prove himself at the moment?
100%.
He's got into this team now, and it's like he's just not shone in a way that we know that Yuki's capable of. Like, we know in fact he wouldn't even be in this team if he wasn't capable.
Yeah.
But like, what's going on?
Similar to the kind of Lando thing, where I think he's just in his head now, and he's like, where he's been coming 9th, 10th, and Max is coming first. I think he's thinking in his head, they're judging me against Max's performance. I need to be better. I need to do everything I can to be better. So then he's just trying too hard rather than just being himself and letting it come to him.
We talk about this a lot with footballers and confidence and how much it affects and getting into your own head. But I think the precision with Formula One is so much more. Like he just made a mistake, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
But you know what? The crash was really bad.
It was bad. Like the car, flipped on its side.
It's like it was climbing up the wall.
Surprised it didn't land upside down. Very lucky.
You know, like for me, this is like, I look at this and you know that the halo has done this work, it's done its job. But it feels like it was only the other day that the halo came in, you know?
Yeah, but it weren't even that long ago.
4 years?
Something like that. It weren't mad.
Not that long ago. And
it saved bare lives.
You see this? I see it in the, there was a mad crash in the Indy 500 race also on the track. And the car's just like upside down, like skidding along. And the driver's protected. And I'm like, This is mad
Yeah.
that we didn't have the halo like a few years ago, and it makes you wonder like what would have happened. You don't even want to think about it.
Yeah.
It's insane that these drivers have been able to just get up,
literally
get out.
He literally got up like Superman, bruv, from an explosion or something. He just got up and walked away, and it was like, what?
Yeah,
like,
Now credit to the engineers that actually build these cars,
literally
like, not cutting no corners.
It's testament to F1 sort of development and engineering, right? Because they take stuff from F1 and then put it into everyday cars later on in life as well. So, maybe we see something that helps car safety in the future come from F1. I don't know. It's a great place for development, right? So
I'd like an overtake button in my car, to be honest. I'd like was it Strat 1, K2? Yeah, man, give me them buttons. Though. If you're developing them in Formula 1, put them in my whip, innit? I'm on all of that. The home of Ferrari, so we were expecting a great weekend, or I was expecting a great weekend for Ferrari. I was like, boom, here we go. Like this is gonna be it. Like Lewis in a Ferrari in Italy. It's gonna be exciting. Like the displays and that looked amazing. F1 Drive, we had some gelato.
Wicked.
Just because it was Italy.
You mean ice cream, right?
Yeah, all of that. But I'm trying to do less of that, innit? Trying to be a bit more respectful to the culture. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, here we go. We were going into this with a view to seeing who was going to get pole, obviously, in qualifying, knowing that Max had got pole, I think, in the last 2 races. I think 2022, 2024, it was Max. Before that, it was Lewis. And before that, it was Bottas, who was really good. And there's a lot of talk that this is going to be... just that race. That race. We're getting into the second quarter of the season. So yeah, apart from Yuki crashing, what were the other shocks?
Well, so obviously Q2 exit. The Ferraris.
So this was it. Big weekend for Ferrari in Italy. Both of them out.
Both of them out. So finishing 11th and 12th with Kimi behind them in 13th, which I thought was shocking as well.
So a Mercedes and 2 Ferraris out.
Insane.
So when you see stuff like that, I don't know how your head works, but I stop thinking like, it's the driver. I start thinking, do you know what? Like there's something that's got like the cars ain't like linking up correctly. Like you said, and it turned out, to be honest, really for qualifying, it was the tires. This medium tire, anyone who was on that kind of ran away with it. So it was a compatibility thing in the end, I think, because Kimi's done well in qualifying.
He has, yeah. Obviously, I guess we'll get into it later on in the race, but maybe a dodgy weekend for him.
Yeah,
maybe there was an issue with the car in qualifying. And I don't think the crash, so obviously in Q2 as well, Colapinto crashed out.
Aye.
So I don't think that helped. I don't think that helped him. But that crash was wild.
Yeah,
that crash was wild as well.
To be fair, I think they red flagged the session in it. This marks the importance again of getting your track in bright and early, because that's the other part, that it just might have been a mess up on the team side of things. Just got to get in there, got to get that lap early.
This is the thing, because even if you stop and then to restart again, it's a lot to get yourself hyped back up and everything.
Yeah,
it's mad. But yeah,
I'll tell you what I was noticing is Sainz was absolutely killing it. So Williams have just had some pace, and like they've been coming through. But geez, like Sainz, I looked up at the screen. It's like Sainz was like first at one point. I'm like,
yeah, he was Q2 first. Yeah,
got this speed out of somewhere.
Yeah, it was mad. But Sainz is capable of that, right?
Yeah, we know he is still.
So what did you make of, so obviously Colapinto crashed and then Jack Doohan's dad took to Twitter.
Oh, is it his dad? I was like, is it his dad or his brother?
I think it's his dad.
Okay,
it's his dad. His dad took to Twitter, and it's not the first time he's taken to Twitter either.
Hey, his dad that's nuts. Usually you expect this of like a younger brother or something.
Mate, it's insane. He's a ride or die for real though.
Yeah.
Man just posted a picture of the crash with the caption, very impressive.
Bro. Like, what do you make of this Doohan like Colapinto thing, man?
I think Doohan probably was let go a bit early. Obviously, it's only 6 races in, and he got left.
Yeah.
It's just not enough time, is it? Like as a rookie to come in, you're not in the fastest car either. The performances were worse than his teammates, but as a rookie, you need to kind of give him that grace. So I understand it, and his dad's obviously vexed, innit?
Yeah,
because now his son's without a job.
Yeah,
and
boy.
You're seeing someone else come in and just
and
crashing. And
well, you're not no better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like you work your whole life for it, and then you get 6 races, and then you let go.
Yeah.
For someone that's not any better.
Formula One is mad.
It is mad. It's unforgiving, isn't it?
Brutal. So are some of these bosses, but there you go, man.
Man.
That's how it goes. So Colapinto crashed. Like, these rookies are really like, this is an interesting season because so many rookies, so many of these like little mistakes. But I think the fact that we're seeing these mistakes not just from the rookies, we're seeing them from Alonso, we've seen through the season, we've seen them from Yuki, like people that we know are they can really do this. Don't know, man. I just don't know what to make of that the whole season, to be honest. But tell you where we're not seeing these mistakes is in Max, is in Oscar. Like, we're not seeing them because these are really the cream of the crop.
Yeah, man, and that was your 1 and 2 on the podium.
There you go.
Oscar first, Max second, and they were split by such little time as well.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
So how did it go? Who was third? Who was fourth?
So you got George Russell in third, Lando in fourth, and then El Plan in fifth, which I thought was a cracking performance from him. Fernando.
Yeah.
I thought it was a cracking performance from him. He's back.
Yeah.
Absolutely back. And it's like you said, he's been struggling this season, and then to come and put a P5 in Imola, like, where did that come from?
Great. It must have felt great. Yeah. Great for him. I tell you what, the shock for me when like Lewis was knocked out of the qualifying, the exact driver who'd done it was Stroll.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's going on? And you like, you know, I like when these cars qualify, teammates qualify next to each other because it gives me the feeling, all right, cool, you're doing what you're meant to be doing. So both the Ferraris getting knocked out, that's what tells me, okay, cool, this ain't driver area, this is a car thing or it's a strategy thing or whatever. But both the Astons getting through, do you know what? Yeah,
fair play to a minute, and both the Williams as well, with Sainz in 6th and Albon in 7th. I thought they're doing a smashing job this season, man.
Williams, you know,
smashing job.
James Vowles,
and then
we love him, man.
And then Isaac in 9th again. He just keeps making it to Q3. Yeah, and he's outperforming Yuki in the racing ball. So watch this space, innit?
It's crazy.
Watch this space.
Telling you, quietly getting on with their work is Hadjar, and quietly getting on with his work is George Russell.
Yeah,
because there's not much to say about him. Even when we go into the race, there's not much to say. No. It's not incredibly exciting. There's no flashes of absolute brilliance, but it's just consistently great driving,
meeting expectations at all points. Right,
you got to give it to him at the moment. So then we move on to the race.
Yeah, the race, boy, great race though.
So Oscar Piastri, I was at F1 Drive London and I spoke to everybody. Who do you think is going to win the race? It's a hard place to overtake. Oscar's starting first. He's in a McLaren who've got the pace. Yeah, he's probably going to finish first. And the McLaren's maybe 1-2, or maybe Max finishes second, and then the other McLaren third, because the McLaren's. A lot of talk about McLaren, a lot of hype around them, of obvious reasons. But it was like almost a given, like the Oscar was going to win this race. Lap 1. Now I'm just going to say, Max races differently against Oscar.
He does.
Versus if it was Lando.
He does.
I think he feels like he knows he can bully Lando a little bit more. And Lando will yield. I think he knows. I said this last week. Like, I'm waiting for the big Oscar Max incident. And seeing them both on the front row, I thought, is it today?
Here we go.
And so when the race started, I was like watching.
It's gonna happen.
I was thinking it was gonna happen. Guess what? Max pulled something out the back. I looked on this thing. I'm like, yo, where's this pace come from in the Red Bull?
Yeah, literally. We literally text each other at the exact time of the overtake, just in awe of the overtake. I was like, what? How's he done that?
I couldn't work out if it was later braking from Max. But it felt like he had mad acceleration and he took Oscar on lap 1, turn 1.
Yeah. I think
insane piece of driving. And then he was gone. Because it was like it wasn't like Oscar could pull it back. He was actually gone.
Yeah, no one saw him again for the whole race, really.
Yeah,
he was just off. I think he put his alter ego on Franz Hermann.
And
just went for it, man.
He was racing Germany last
In
week.
Germany, he was in the Nürburgring, racing cars and breaking records on the track. In his alter ego, Franz Hermann, that he put on.
There's some people that are just like, he's just obsessed, boy.
He's born to race in it.
Obsessed.
Like, he lives for it. He's born for it. He's just that guy.
Yeah.
He's just that guy. But yeah, Max ended up winning the race. No one really saw him. He was in a league of his own.
We had a safety car.
Last
I thought
race.
that might really make it a thing, but to be honest, his restart was crazy. There was a lot of struggles with tires, to be honest, like around the restart and stuff. But it was mad. He drove for me today, this weekend. It was just a Mad Max race.
Yeah,
Mad Max
literally.
He ran away with it.
Literally, I think at one point he was like 30 seconds ahead, thanks to good strategy calls and stuff.
That's
But
mad.
it was mental.
That's mad. I mean, yeah, we're talking about strategy calls. Like, these tires have played, obviously they always play a big part, but in qualifying, like I said, I think those who were on the medium tire, like they ran away with it. Like it was kind of worked out, okay, cool, this is what was really working. They all built their strategy maybe around what they saw in practice and qualifying, but both George and Oscar were on the radios at like lap 12 saying, I don't think our plan is going to work. I don't think plan A is working. Tires are struggling, not going to make it. And I think George came in something like lap 12, which was early.
Very early.
It was early, man, for what was meant to be a one-stop race.
Yeah, this is it.
63 laps or whatever it was. I don't think so. Yeah, 63 laps, isn't it?
But then you did have drivers like Max and Lando who they didn't pit early with the rest of them. So are they better at nursing the tyres? Are they the tyre whisperers? Like,
nah, I don't know. Maybe. No, maybe. To be fair, George hasn't got he's not got the greatest record of managing his tyres. But I think it was being so defensive or really trying to push.
Yeah, he kept Lando behind him for a good few laps. Like I think it was like 4 laps or something. Lando was trying him hard. Yeah, you don't. And George defended like an animal.
You
really don't. And not Lando as well. Lando's a good overtaker.
Yeah,
like, on track. So yeah, it's just I think that burnt his tires up. And then obviously Oscar was chasing Max down, probably burnt his tires up, so that didn't help. But there was a lot of people did stop early in the race.
In the end, where did Russell finish? Because Russell felt like he had like I said, there's not much to say about him, but he was struggling through the race. He said there was something like, and he said this from early, something at the back of the car felt unstable.
Yeah, so he ended up finishing 7th. He thought that like one of the axles at the back broke or something like that. He was like, every time I'm turning the car, it's just not doing what I wanted to do and everything. And maybe there was, because Kimi ended up DNFing, which brought one of the safety cars out. For a failure in the car.
Engine failure.
Yeah, engine failure. Yeah.
Again, we don't see a great amount of like just engine failure. I remember when I first started watching Formula One, like it was like engines would fail, parts would fail so much more regularly. I think we talked about this last week. Yeah. We don't see man pushing cars around the high road like nearly as often as we once did. Like the reliability in cars, full stop, has improved. But we saw, I think, 2 engine failure, 2 like...
two of them, So you had Antonelli's one and... who was the other one?
And it wasn't...
Ocon.
Ocon, there you go. And it wasn't like a crash. It was just like the car failed. It almost felt like the same point on the track. Yeah, pulled up on the grass.
Yeah, literally. But that was... so Ocon's one, obviously, they brought a virtual safety car out, which then brought different strategies out. So Max gained 10 seconds by pitting under that safety car, which is what put him like 30 seconds ahead.
He just went. See, safety car, sometimes it can just go your way and sometimes it just doesn't. And before the race, I thought it was going to have an impact. Like when I looked at the stats, it was 25% chance of a virtual safety car and 75% chance of an actual safety car. When the chances are that high, I expected to see like one or the other. I didn't actually expect to see both, but there you go. And it did have an impact. I mean, people like Lewis also benefited from having a safety car.
He did, and he ended up having a great race, didn't he?
For being knocked out in Q2, to get to P4, like
it's insane. And he was only 1.4 seconds behind Oscar by the end of the race.
This is interesting, and I feel like I'm saying this all the time. I'm like, what if there was another 5 laps?
Yeah.
What if there was another 6 or 7 laps? Like, what would happen? Like, I'm proper curious.
Right, but it just shows Ferrari do have the pace somewhere.
But I feel like sometimes it's like towards the end of the race, because this has happened before. So maybe on a lighter fuel load or whatever it is, but this has happened a few times. It feels like towards the end of the race, it's starting to come through for them, man.
So are you a fan of the safety car and the rules that sort of the cars bunch up after an incident?
Yeah, because it adds something to the like. No one wants to see Max 30 seconds out like ahead, and there's no like the competitive element goes. I like it. It adds drama. It's a thing. It's like, oh, cool. Now, you thought you'd gone in it. Like now you're back. Now you're back. Are you a fan of like them allowing the lapped cars to unlap themselves?
Ooh, yes, because I think it makes for better racing in terms of the lapped cars just end up getting in the way and sometimes ruining like a 1-2 battle. If the second place is faster and chasing, they can lose time trying to overtake the back markers. So I do get that. I agree with that.
Because at one point I see a Haas in between Max and
chilling
Oscar,
there for time.
Like, what is this doing here, bro?
Yeah.
Like, you're not in this race.
Get to the back.
Now, I don't mind it as long as everyone knows the rules. I don't
Yeah.
think everyone knew the rules in 2021. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We're not going to go there today.
So yeah, man, there was all of that. Last year there were 45 overtakes. I don't know how many overtakes were in this race, but it felt like they were going for it. It felt like you had Yuki, like he made a lot of overtakes. Like he was climbing, boy.
He did. He ended up finishing back in the points.
And this is what I'm saying.
Good thing from him, but again, it's like do better in qualifying, and then you can do this in the race, right?
So basically, don't crash.
Don't crash. Like just don't push it too hard. Just make sure you're there in Q3 and then you can take it there from the race. But yeah, he was climbing, he done well, but that's what's expected of him. Do you know what I mean? Like Max is putting that thing on pole. You've got to do the goods as well.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
And he done it. So fair play to him. Obviously safety cars also helped him as well, or maybe didn't help him as much certain times, but yeah, it was a good race from him. And yeah, I think he can build on it. He just needs to take the confidence from it now and just go for it, right?
Yeah, for real. 100%. I feel like it was a tough weekend for Charles Leclerc. Let's talk about Charles, because in qualifying, when he got knocked out, he's like, my gosh. Like all you heard on the radio, like he knew this is not where it's at.
Yeah.
And he knows what it means. Like he's been a Ferrari driver for a while. He knows what it means racing in Italy in a Ferrari.
Yeah.
So I know that he felt bad, but in the actual race, it didn't really go well for him.
No, and using his words, unbelievable. He it didn't go well for him, but he still ended up in 6th.
Yeah.
Lewis in 4th. It's not that bad.
But I thought it was going to be the other way around because he qualified above Lewis.
Did, yeah.
And it looked like he was going to be just in front of Lewis, but it didn't kind of go like that. And they were like mad defensive driving going on. Was it Williams head behind him? Or
at one point it was, Albon was behind him.
So this battle with Albon, like Albon put in a mad drive.
Man, Albon's that guy. 5th place in the Williams. So he's that guy. Splitting the 2 Ferraris. Insane drive.
And I think what's even more insane about that is he was behind them both and he was going for it. He was going for it I think he was in front of Lewis.
Yeah.
And behind Charles, right? He kept going for it, testing him.
Yeah.
And then he ended up off in the gravel.
Yeah.
Like it was controversial whether like Charles like didn't leave him enough road or whatever. You know what this is.
What did you think?
Racing incident.
Mm-hmm.
Just is what it is.
I agree.
Albon through the gravel, done well to keep it on the road. Through went Hamilton.
Yeah.
It's like that old Silverstone line. Like Hamilton went through and you thought, that's that. And I thought that was going to be the order, innit?
Yeah.
Lewis and then
And Albon.
But in the last few races, a few laps, like it still didn't end up like that. And it ended up Lewis, Albon. Charles.
Yeah.
Which from Charles, that's the perspective I'm trying to look at it right now. This is an awful show.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, it was. And there's been a few times where Lewis and Charles, they've like done a double overtake on someone, or Charles held someone up, Lewis has managed to come through, and it just looks like they do some great teamwork.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So I do like that. But yeah, no, he's going to be going home. He's going to be disappointed. And obviously Lewis is coming to his house.
Yeah, man.
Done the business. And it's like, boy, Lewis had the coffee on deck this time.
Yeah, well, so did the Ferrari team maybe, because they just seemed like they were a little bit more with it.
Yeah.
Maybe just being in Italy.
Has to be, right? You can't mess up that race. Otherwise your head's rolling.
Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, all in all, apart from that, there wasn't much more like event-wise in the race. I just thought that it was, like I said, for me, the biggest shock, if you like, was the fact that I was convinced Oscar was going to win this. But I'm loving seeing the competitive element. To be quite honest,
I do like it. Yeah, it is good. There was one point. So Fernando Alonso, when he pitted on lap 13, I think it was, and like his brakes were on fire.
Oh my gosh!
Did you see it?
Yeah. As he left,
Stop, and it was on fire. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Why?
Didn't expect that.
Why?
So I think they just said it's something to do because the track was hot. and then you stop. It's like the wind stops blowing it to cool it down. So then when you've stopped, like it all builds up and just catches on fire. And then as soon as it goes off again, it's all good.
Formula One is nuts,
mad.
you know, bro.
It's
How
mad.
come when brakes just be on fire? Like, the thing that done me is because they've just changed the tires,
Yeah.
and now you're driving off. Like you're under the speed limit. Like what's going on? Yeah,
Like,
no.
if I'm sitting in that driver's seat and I see my car on my wheels on fire,
I'm getting out, bro.
I'm okay.
Getting out, bro.
These
These man different minerals, and that's why I said maybe I'm not cut out to be one.
Yeah,
I see
yeah,
my tires on fire, my wheels on fire. Yeah, bro, I'm off. So yeah, that was it for round 7. The next race, I think we've got 3 back to back across weekends.
We do, yeah. Monaco next week.
Yeah. So we was talking about like maybe like obviously the ultimate in life has got to be when you can go to all 24 races in a season.
Yeah.
Like one after the other. That's got to be the ultimate. But I was talking to my brother Hooli the other day, and I was just saying, you know what? In fact, it was his suggestion, said, you know what? Maybe you start off by that, just trying to do the European leg in it. Because it's also got to be intense. Like if we said we're going to the next 3 races across Europe, and it's like practice, qualifying, race, and then home for like 2 days. Or do you even bother going home? Do you go straight to
straight to the next country, bro? Straight to the next country. I'm living it large, but my money's not long like that. I need one of the teams to invite me down because I don't have the facilities, big man.
I hear it. Yeah, the way my team's set up ain't that evil. But you know, one day, that's what I'm saying. It's the dream. It's the aspiration. But I think
it would be cool.
That's got to be cool. But
you met someone at Silverstone, right? That gets invited to all the races, I think.
Yeah. So it was he was a photographer. Like he'd taken photos from years and years and years ago, like years of taking photos, and he's got a lifetime paddock pass,
mental,
granted to him by Bernie Eccleston that can't be retracted. Like it's like this is services to Formula One. You will be part of it forever. So he's got and I gotta say, like you could get to Formula One, you could get hospitality, but paddock pass is just like next level. That's a mad privilege. That's mad access. To have that for life, like he's put his work in.
You know you've done something right in your career, innit?
Yeah. You
big
might want to
big up him.
relatively anonymous, but if he does, I'm going to speak to him. If he doesn't, then we'll shout him out on the next one.
Yeah, cool.
Monaco is a place I would like to go. I'd like to go.
I would like to go there on a yacht.
Yeah. Of course. It looks vibey, man. And you know what? I'd like to go twice. I'd like to go like when there's no race on. Just to see it and probably bump into some of the F1 drivers because pretty much all live there.
Yeah.
Like
pretty cool.
Pretty.
Have you seen that video? The guy that so I don't remember what the corner's called, but a lot of people when they go on holiday, that's it, the big hairpin, and everyone goes there to like spot cars going around that corner. Yeah. Have you seen the guy that done like the fake Bugatti?
Oh, like,
the video of the fake Bugatti going around that corner.
Gotta try and get that. That's mad. But yeah, iconic race. Looking forward to that. And then I'd like to go back on a race weekend because it's got to be epic.
Yeah.
Parties lit.
Oh, mate. Different. Like the outfits. It's just, that is the crown jewel race, isn't it? Like every driver wants to win at Monaco. And if you do, I feel like you're just etched in Formula One history for winning that race. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top of that one because you can't make any mistakes on that 100%. Track. So
last year it was Charles. Like Ferrari weren't even doing that well, and Charles Leclerc pulled it out, and it was like epic. It was the man from Monaco. Oh, listen, will it be that again? You reckon?
No. I don't think so. I reckon we might see a little surprise from someone. I don't know who. Maybe an Albon. Yeah.
Williams.
They fully could do it.
I think we're going to see a Williams on the podium in Monaco. I'm going to put myself out there and say it.
Yeah.
We're going to see one on the podium. Yeah.
Underdog story. And I like it.
It feels like the year of the underdog.
It does.
It just feels like it.
It does. It does.
Just feels like it. You know, Crystal Palace winning a trophy. You know, it just feels like the year of the underdog, man.
Yeah, I like this energy. Let's go with that.
So
Alex Albon and Sainz 1-2.
Yo.
There's two mandatory pit stops now as well.
In Monaco?
In Monaco.
Okay.
So it's a
Just
whole
to
different
jazz
race.
things up a little bit.
Whole different race now. So yeah, we'll see some wacky strategies. Let's see.
It'll be McLaren to step it up a little bit, to really, really try and make it happen. It'll be an opportunity for Yuki to redeem himself in qualifying, and it'll be an opportunity for Oscar to really, really kind of step away from everybody and show what he's made of. But we'll see. It's all happening in the next race. But for now, that has been Imola. My name's been Jay Knox.
My name's Javier.
This is Race Talk F1. Make sure you're following on everything, TikTok, Instagram, and on all of your favorite streaming sites, platforms is what I'm trying
socials.
to say. Socials, all of that. And we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.